Hi there, I am Traci Skuce, author of Hunger Moon, a collection of short stories, and thanks to the BC Arts Council for making possible this second in the series of 4 videos of me reading, since we are in the middle of a pandemic and I have not been able to do the book tour that I wanted to do for this book. I'm going to read to you today from a story. I'm going to read the entire story. It's a very short story called Needs, and it's one of the older stories in this book in that I wrote it probably going on over 10 years ago. So it goes like this. We emerge from under a stone arch, hungry and needing to pee. We've stopped in the old city for relief and lunch. 3 tour buses line the streets, 200 nuns. Les bonnes sœurs. I dart through them like a minnow, but you are encumbered by that too small stroller, your tall frame curved over it like a question mark. A litany of chattering sisters want to pinch the flesh of our baby. Beau bébé, they exclaim. They didn't see you last night, drunk, with your bobbing erection, saying, forget the crying. You don't know how horny. You may as well have said a man has needs, and I could have cinched an apron around my waist, popped back the Valium, opened my legs. You may as well have said that, but you didn't. You disappeared into the bathroom, leaving me with weeping breasts to reach for the baby. The books talk about sleep deprivation. Some say a woman's libido might go underground. Some even say the man has needs. Not like that, of course, not like they used to, but like a warning, a red flag on the horizon. They don't say anything about the porn that will turn up on the computer, or how a mother's body becomes utilitarian, something to drag around, satisfying everyone else's basic needs. The pregnancy was bound in love and amazement, you rubbing my belly like Aladdin's lamp, whispering wishes into my womb. And then the baby, born half bruised from the pushing, blood vessels in his fresh eyes broken, the pitch of his cry tilted some balance. We trudge through crowds, tourists armed with cameras and shopping bags. This is a 2-hour stop for us, between the Gaspé and your mother's house in the townships. It's hot. This eastern summer swells my fingers, my brain, every one of my nerves. Our coastal home nudges up against temperate rainforest. We know mist and rain and a summer heat. And though I long for the hushed winter snows they have here, I cannot abide in this humidity. It hangs like a thick net, all of us caught like lobsters, crustacean claws climbing over each other, shells beginning to redden. Where do we go, I ask. You point to a sign that says Vieille Ville. Follow the cobbled brick road, you say. We cascade in a massive tourist flow, down cobbled steps where the antiquated architecture is filled with roots and ice cream and fleur de lis and maple sugar. I reach into the diaper bag slung over my shoulder, a sippy cup of water for the baby. He can't hold it himself, so I make you stop. People jostle past us, speaking a dozen different languages. A Korean couple gestures a phone at us, then points to the baby. He's got to stay hydrated, I say. I know, and you click your tongue, nodding at the Koreans. They snatch a portrait or two and then wave their hands. Merci, thank you, merci. Magané, hangover. Literal translation, mangled. A new word for me, and I imagine twisted metal, chrome. We've gone to your friends in the Gaspé, up the long thumb of this province to show off the baby. Last night you left me in the kitchen with the girlfriends and wives while you drank beer and scotch on the front porch. I used up all the words I knew with those women, and our conversation evaporated into a repetitive stream of c'est ça, un bon, and oui, oui. There's a patisserie with tables outside. We ordered croissants, ham and cheese, spinach and cheese, cheese and cheese, and eat them in humid silence around a wobbly table. The baby nurses at my breast. A woman walks by, tight skirt and heels that click into the worn grooves of the brick. She holds a phone in front of her face, watching the screen. You smile at her. You must, because you smile at her and she catches you in her frame. She must, because she smiles. Slow spread of poison. It's not like we haven't had sex every once in a while. I relent. Give in because I've read the articles that say sex keeps the spark in a relationship. And if I don't, you'll go somewhere else. I didn't used to withdraw from sex. Ever. I didn't used to hold back. No, I pounced and clawed, always ready. None of that remains. My breasts touched 100 times a day, always pumping out nourishment, sustenance, a means to pacify. 6 weeks after the baby, that's how long they say to wait, until the woman's body heals from the birth. You timed it to the day, the hour, and reached for my breasts, marveled by their fullness. These are ripe, you said, jiggling the right one before leaning down to lick the left. I pushed your head back and started crying. It's the last thing. You stood straight, kissed my hair. Okay, maybe tomorrow. And I keep wishing the books would say it takes 1 year. The baby's head lolls off my breast, nipple hanging just above his mouth, face glazed with milk and sweat. My shoulders ache from his weight in my arms. I lean into the cast iron chair back. You've gone in for iced tea so you don't see her. The woman in the skirt passes by again, this time her phone tucked into her purse. She turns toward me and flips a screen of dark hair from her face. It shines like onyx. She has you on her phone, our whole family beneath this colorful awning, you with your sunglasses, your prize-winning smile, me with a halo of humid frizz, the haggard look of someone who never sleeps. I wonder if she'll download that photo to her laptop, enlarge you, and wonder what you are doing with someone like me. Why did you leave your culture, your language, your people? Why did you stop on the Trans-Canada that day? Why did you call and say, should we move in together? And why, before I could even think, did my heart leap out of my mouth screaming, yes, yes. Years ago, I learned your language in stilted, halting phrases. Comment ça va? Ça va bien? Merci. Your mother says English is good for instruction manuals, but French is for love. Maybe I'm too much A into B and not enough blood on the page. I would never die for love. People ask that sometimes. They expect it. Once, after a fight, you asked if I'd die for you, because you claimed you'd die for me. I kept imagining you pitching your body in front of a bus. I might do that for the baby. Okay, if it came to it, I would die for him. We could go on a walking tour, you say, half grinning, see the fort. We've gone on walking tours of your old haunts, pushed the stroller all over your hometown. You've pointed to the houses and mentioned parties, lists of lovers, details that make up the old parts of you. We ran into that woman with the 2-year-old twins outside the dépanneur. When she left in her minivan, you said, I went down on her in the shower once. Long before kids, and she had no breasts. Nothing, no softness there, only a washboard of ribs. You stated this as an interesting fact, something to ponder, like the shape of someone's jaw or the color of their eyes. He's asleep. I nod my head toward the baby. Let's let him sleep for a while. You stay here then. I'm going to walk around. You won't wait? I'll come back. You flick your wrist. 10 minutes. I just need to move around. You can't. Why can't you wait? You lean over to kiss my forehead, to kiss the baby. 10 minutes. Then you disappear down the street where the woman with the onyx hair passed through. Your mother said after you were born she left you at the nursery for a week because your father suggested it. He thought it would be good for me, she said, to get my energy back. She shook her head. Mon Dieu. Can you believe that? I agreed to it. All that week she spent her days at the nursery, breasts bound with tape. Nurses fed you and changed your diaper. At 5 o'clock, they sent her home to make supper for your father. When finally he went to sleep, she cried. All I wanted to do was hold my baby, she told me. All I wanted was to bring him home. 15 minutes go by, then 20. The baby's head presses into my arm. People pour in and out of doors, buying things, exclaiming. I wonder if you've navigated through the crowds hard as a compass needle. I wonder if you're fucking her against the rampart parts of an old fort. I want everyone to disappear, for seasons to shift, the desolation of winter, bitter cold. I want to be alone on these streets 200, 400 years ago, for a door to open, a wise woman to pull me through. I want her to offer me elixirs for my blood, for my heart, then a well-worn map or a key, something, anything, to guide me along these perilous ridges without pushing you away. I draw an ice cube out of your glass, hold it against my cheek. Drops of water splash onto the baby's arm. He stirs and nuzzles closer in. So thanks for tuning in. That is Needs from my collection, Hunger Moon. And thank you especially to the BC Arts Council for their generous support and supporting of me and other artists in endeavors to promote and spread the word about their books and art. So thank you.